The Galactic Council chamber was never silent. It was a place full of voices. Loud voices. Angry voices. Proud voices. Every species believed it was the strongest. Every leader wanted to be heard. The chamber itself was massive. Tall pillars reached up into a glowing dome. Bright lights floated in the air. In the center, a large circular table stood, surrounded by leaders from across the galaxy. But today, something felt wrong. The noise was still there. Voices still echoed across the chamber. But there was a gap. A strange, uncomfortable gap. One seat was empty. The human seat. At first, no one cared. Humans were new to the council. They had only joined a few cycles ago. They did not speak much. They did not argue. They did not show power like the others. Many thought they were weak. "They are too quiet," said a tall, gray-skinned ambassador. "They lack ambition," another replied. "They will not last long," a third one added with a soft laugh. The empty seat did not worry them. Maybe humans were late. Maybe they were afraid. Maybe they simply did not belong. The meeting continued. Trade deals. Border conflicts. Military plans. The same things. The same arguments. But as time passed, a few leaders began to notice something strange. There was no human signal. Usually, every species sent constant updates. Messages. Data streams. Movement reports. Humans sent nothing. One of the council technicians checked the system again. "No signal from Earth," he said. A few heads turned. "What about their colonies?" someone asked. The technician paused. His hands moved quickly across the controls. "No signal," he said again, slower this time. Now the room grew quieter. That was not normal. Even weak species did not go silent. Someone laughed, trying to break the tension. "Maybe their system failed," he said. "Yes, or maybe they are hiding," another added. But not everyone was relaxed. One older council member leaned forward. His voice was low. "Scan their space." The order was simple. The system activated. A large holographic map of the galaxy appeared in the center of the chamber. Hundreds of lights blinked across it. Each light was a system, a world, a civilization. The human systems were highlighted. Then, something strange happened. One by one, the lights went dark. Gasps filled the room. "What is happening?" someone shouted. The technician stared at the screen. "They are not responding," he said. "All human colonies offline." "That is impossible," another leader yelled. "Entire systems cannot just disappear." But they had. Earth, Mars, outer colonies, mining stations, defense fleets, all gone. No signals, no movement, no life signs. It was as if humanity had simply vanished. The chamber fell into uneasy silence. For the first time, fear touched the edges of the council. But still some refused to believe it. "This is a trick," said a warlike commander. "Humans are hiding something." "Yes," another agreed. "They are planning something." "Or they ran away," someone laughed. That brought back a few smiles. Fear turned into arrogance again. "If they left," the commander said proudly, "then they were never worth our time." The meeting slowly returned to normal. But not everyone forgot. Some kept watching the map. Some kept thinking. Because humans were strange, but they were not careless. Days passed. Then weeks. Still no human signal. But now, other systems began to go silent. At first, it was far away. A small trade outpost stopped responding. Then a mining colony. Then a patrol fleet. Each time, the council made excuses. Pirates. System failure. Local conflict. But deep inside, they knew something was wrong. Very wrong. Then came the day everything changed. A distress signal reached the council. Weak. Broken. Almost gone. It came from the edge of known space. A rescue team was sent immediately. When they arrived, they found a ship. Or what was left of it. The hull was torn open. Burn marks covered its surface. Parts of it looked melted. It was not normal damage. It looked like something had eaten through it. Inside, there was only one survivor. Barely alive. His body was shaking. His breathing weak. They rushed him back to the council. Every leader watched as he was brought into the chamber. The room was silent now. No one laughed anymore. No one spoke. The survivor opened his eyes slowly. Fear filled them. Deep, endless fear. A medical unit tried to stabilize him. "Tell us what happened," one leader said. The survivor tried to speak. At first, no sound came out. Then finally a whisper. "They are coming." The room froze. "Who is coming?" someone asked quickly. The survivor's eyes moved around the chamber. His voice trembled. We thought it was nothing, just empty space." He coughed. Dark fluid spilled from his mouth. "They don't attack like us, they don't fight." The lights flickered slightly. The air felt heavy. "They consume." A cold feeling spread through the room. "What do you mean?" a leader demanded. The survivor looked directly toward the empty human seat. And in that moment, everything changed. "Humans knew," he whispered. Silence. "They saw it first." His breathing became weaker. "They tried to warn us." A few leaders looked at each other. Confusion. Fear. Realization. "We didn't listen." The survivor's voice broke. "They left." The chamber felt colder now. "They left us behind." His body went still. The monitors went dark. He was gone. No one moved. No one spoke. Every eye slowly turned toward the empty human seat. And, for the first time, the Galactic Council understood something terrible. Humans did not disappear by accident. They left. On purpose. And whatever was coming was something they could not stop. The silence in the chamber returned. But this time, it was not normal. It was fear. The Galactic Council chamber did not return to normal after that day. The silence remained. Not the peaceful kind, but a heavy silence. A fearful one. The empty human seat was no longer ignored. Now it felt like a warning. Every leader in the chamber kept looking at it, even when they tried not to. The survivors' last words echoed in their minds again and again. Humans knew. For the first time, the council did not argue. They acted. Orders were sent across the galaxy. Scout ships were deployed. Long-range sensors were activated. Military fleets were placed on alert. Every system was told the same thing. Report everything. No matter how small. Fear had replaced arrogance. But fear came too late. Far beyond the safe zones of the galaxy, a group of scout ships moved slowly through the darkness. Their mission was simple. Find out what was happening. At first, everything looked normal. Stars burned. Planets moved in their usual paths. Space was quiet. Too quiet. One of the pilots frowned as he looked at his instruments. "No signals," he said. "That is normal out here," another replied. But something felt wrong. There should have been at least something. Old signals. Background noise. Energy traces. But there was nothing. Just empty silence. The ships moved deeper. Then they saw it. A system appeared ahead. Or what was left of it. The central star was dim. Not dead, but weak. Like it was slowly fading away. The planets around it were dark. No lights. No movement. No life. "Scan the system," the captain ordered. The sensors activated. The results came back. And every crew member froze. No life detected. That was impossible. This system was once full of life. Colonies. Stations. Ships. Millions of beings lived here. Now, nothing. "Maybe they evacuated," one crew member said, trying to stay calm. The captain shook his head slowly. "There are no ships," he said. "No wreckage. No signals." Then where did they go? No one had an answer. The captain gave another order. "Move closer." The ships slowly entered the system. As they passed the first planet, the crew saw something strange. The surface looked drained. Oceans were gone. Forests were gone. Even the atmosphere was thin. It was like the planet had been emptied. Not destroyed. Not burned. Just consumed. A cold fear spread across the ship. "This is not natural," someone whispered. The captain's voice was tight. "Record everything." They moved toward the second planet. It was worse. Nothing remained. No water. No air. No life. Just a dry, lifeless shell. The third planet, the same. The fourth,
The same.
every world in the system was empty. Then suddenly, a warning alarm echoed through the ship. Unknown energy spike detected. Where? The captain shouted. The officer pointed at the screen. Behind us. The captain turned quickly. But there was nothing there. Only darkness. Are you sure? He asked. Yes, sir. It's moving fast. The energy reading jumped again.
Closer now.
But still nothing could be seen. The crew began to panic. I don't see anything. Neither do I. Then what is that signal? The captain clenched his fists. Prepare to retreat. But before they could move, one of the ships in the formation went silent.
Just like that.
No explosion. No warning. It simply disappeared from the system. Ship 3, respond, someone shouted. No answer. Ship 3. Still nothing. Then another alarm screamed. Another energy spike. This time it was right next to them. The crew stared into the darkness, waiting, breathing fast. Then, something moved. Not clearly, not fully, just a shape, a distortion in space, like the darkness itself was shifting. Open fire, the captain yelled. Weapons activated instantly. Bright beams of energy shot into the darkness. But they hit nothing. Or maybe they were absorbed, because the darkness did not react. It did not slow down. It did not stop. Another ship vanished. Then another. No explosions. No debris. Just gone. Panic took over. Retreat. Retreat now, the captain shouted. The remaining ships turned and tried to escape. Engines burned at full power. But the energy reading followed them. Closer. Faster. It's right behind us. The captain looked back one last time. And for a brief moment,
He saw it.
something massive. Something impossible. A shape that did not make sense.
It was not a ship.
Not a creature. Not anything known. It was like a hole in reality. A moving darkness that swallowed everything around it. Stars near it dimmed. Light bent around it. Even sensors struggled to understand it. Then, everything went black. Back at the Galactic Council, the signal from the scout fleet cut off. Mid-transmission. No final message. No explanation. Just silence. Again. The chamber was filled with fear now. Real fear. Not doubt. Not arrogance.
Fear.
What did they find? One leader asked quietly. The technician shook his head. We only received partial data, he said. Show it, another demanded. The hologram activated. Broken images appeared. Dark planets. Fading stars. Empty systems. Then, a brief, distorted image. A shadow. A shape. Something that could not be clearly seen. But everyone felt it. That thing was not normal. That, one leader whispered, is what is coming? No one answered, because deep down, they already knew. And then someone asked the question that changed everything. Why did humans leave? The room went silent again. Slowly, all eyes turned toward the empty seat. Because now the truth was becoming clear. Humans did not run away in fear. They left because they understood. And whatever was out there was already too powerful. The Galactic Council was no longer in control. Fear had taken its place. The images from the scout fleet played again and again inside the chamber. Dark planets. Dead systems. That moving shadow. No one could explain it. No one could fight it. And worst of all, no one knew how long they had before it reached them. The only clear thought in every mind was the same. Humans knew. The question was no longer if.
Now it was how.
The council ordered a full search of all human data. Every archive. Every signal. Every record.
But it was not easy.
Humans had wiped most of their systems clean before they disappeared. It was like they had planned it carefully. Nothing important was left behind. Only empty files, broken codes, and silence. Still, the council refused to give up. They brought in their best minds.
Scientists.
Hackers. Historians. For days, they searched through what little remained. Most of it led nowhere. Until one small discovery changed everything. Deep inside an old data station, far from the central systems, A weak signal was found. It was hidden. Not erased but buried. Almost like humans wanted someone to find it, but only if they tried hard enough. The signal was old. Very old. Before humans even joined the council. "Open it," one leader ordered. The technician hesitated. "It is heavily protected," he said. "Human encryption." "Break it." It took hours. Then finally, the file opened. The chamber grew silent. A video appeared. A human stood on the screen. He looked tired. His eyes were heavy, but his voice was calm. "This message is for anyone who finds it," he said. "We tried to warn you." Murmurs spread across the chamber. The human continued. "Years ago, our deep space sensors detected something unusual. At first, we thought it was natural." Images appeared behind him. Strange readings. Distorted signals. But it kept growing. Moving. Feeding. The word echoed. Feeding. "We sent probes," he said. None returned. The screen showed lost signals. Broken transmissions. "We observed from a distance." The human paused for a moment. Then his voice became more serious. "It is not a weapon." Another pause. "It is not a species." The chamber was completely silent now. "It is something else." The image changed. A system slowly going dark. It consumes energy, matter, light. Planets faded. Stars dimmed. Everything disappeared. "It does not attack like we do," the human said. "It simply takes." A chill ran through the council. "We tried to understand it," he continued, "but it does not think like us. It does not feel. It does not stop." The human looked directly into the camera. "It cannot be reasoned with." Another image appeared. A map. A path. A slow, unstoppable movement across the galaxy. "It is coming here." The words hit hard. "We calculated its path. Its speed." The human took a deep breath. "We had time." The council members leaned forward. This was the moment. This was the answer they needed. "So we came to you," the human said. "We shared our data." A few leaders looked down, unable to meet each other's eyes. "We asked for help. For cooperation." The human's voice lowered slightly. "But you did not listen." Silence filled the chamber. "You called us afraid. You called us weak. You said it was not your problem." The words felt heavy now. Because they were true. The human did not sound angry. That made it worse. He sounded disappointed. "So, we made a decision." The screen changed again. Massive structures appeared. Ships. Huge ones. Larger than anything the council had ever built. "We could not stop it," he said. "So we chose to survive." Images of construction filled the screen. Hidden shipyards. Secret bases. Entire fleets being built in silence. "We began Project Exodus." The name echoed across the chamber. "We gathered our people. Our knowledge. Our future." The human's eyes softened slightly. It was not easy. Images showed crowded ships. Families leaving their homes. Cities being abandoned. "We left everything behind." The council watched in shock. All this time, humans were not hiding. They were preparing. "We left markers," the human continued. "Clues. Paths." His voice became serious again. "Not for everyone." The chamber grew tense. Only for those who would understand. The human stepped closer to the camera. "If you are watching this, then it is already too late." A few leaders gasped softly, but not completely hopeless. Hope. A small, fragile word. "We created safe zones. Far from its path." Images of distant stars appeared. Unknown regions of space. Places where it cannot reach. "Not yet." The human paused one last time. "If you find our path, if you reach our gates, then maybe." He stopped. Then finished quietly. "Maybe you'll survive." The screen went dark. No one spoke. No one moved. The truth had been revealed. Humans did not abandon the galaxy out of fear. They stayed longer than anyone else. They studied the threat. They tried to warn others. And when no one listened, they saved themselves. One leader finally broke the silence. "They left a way out?" The technician nodded slowly. "Possibly. Another leader stood up quickly. Then, we must find it. Yes, another agreed. We follow their path. Hope began to grow. Small but real. But one older member shook his head. You did not hear the message, he said quietly. The room turned toward him. They said, not for everyone. Silence returned. Because now, the truth was clear. Humanity had not just left. They had chosen. And the rest of the galaxy was never part of the plan. The truth changed everything. Hope appeared, but so did panic. The Galactic Council was no longer a place of power. It became a place of fear. Leaders who once spoke with pride now spoke in low voices. Some did not speak at all. Others argued more than ever. Find the human path, one shouted. Protect our systems first, another replied. Send all fleets to the outer zones.
No.
Bring them back to defend the core. Every voice wanted control. But no one had a real answer. Across the galaxy, chaos had already begun. The outer systems were the first to fall. Messages flooded into the council.
Short. Broken.
Full of fear. We lost contact with. It's here. Stars are dimming. Help us. Then silence. Again and again. Whole systems went dark in hours. Not days. Not weeks.
Hours. The speed of it was terrifying.
The council finally made a decision. They would fight. All major fleets were called back. Warships gathered in massive numbers near the edge of known space. For the first time in history, the galaxy stood united. Different species, different empires, all ready to face one enemy.
Or whatever it was.
The battlefield was empty at first. Ships filled the darkness. Weapons were charged. Sensors searched for any sign. Then, the readings appeared. Energy spike detected. The same words from the scout report. A cold silence spread across every ship. Prepare for contact, the fleet commander ordered. The ships formed lines. Weapons aimed forward. Everyone waited, watching the darkness. Then, it came. At first, nothing could be seen. Only a distortion. A small shift in space. Like heat in the air. Then it grew. Larger. Closer. The stars behind it began to fade. Light bent around it. The darkness itself seemed to move. It's here, someone whispered. Fear spread across every ship. Open fire, the commander shouted. Thousands of weapons fired at once. Bright beams filled space. Energy waves crashed into the moving darkness. For a moment, it looked like it worked. The distortion slowed. The fleet pushed harder. Keep firing. More power. More energy. More force. But then, the beams began to disappear. Not deflected. Not blocked.
Consumed.
The darkness absorbed everything. Weapons lost power. Systems began to fail. What is happening? A pilot screamed. The commander stared in shock. It's feeding on it. Then the first ship vanished. No explosion. No damage. It simply disappeared. Just like the scout ships. Then another. And another. Panic spread instantly. Retreat. Fall back. The commander yelled. But it was too late. The darkness moved faster now. Like it had become stronger. Ships at the edge tried to escape. Some jumped to hyperspace. Others were not fast enough. One by one, they were swallowed. Inside the command ship, the crew watched in horror. Entire fleets gone in seconds. This is not a battle, one officer said. This is extinction. The commander clenched his fists. He looked at the main screen. At the unstoppable force in front of him. Then he gave the only order left. All ships retreat to the core worlds. His voice was heavy. We cannot stop it. The news reached the Galactic Council quickly. The Great Fleet had failed. The strongest defense in history, destroyed in minutes. Now there was no doubt.
Nothing could stop it.
Panic spread across the galaxy like fire. Rich systems closed their borders. Weak systems were abandoned. Alliances broke apart. Trust disappeared. Every species thought only of survival. Some tried to build their own escape ships. Others searched desperately for human technology. Many simply ran. But there was nowhere safe to run. The darkness kept moving. Slow.
Silent.
Unstoppable. Back in the council chamber, the leaders were no longer united. Some shouted. Some blamed others. You ignored the humans. You called them weak. You caused this. Anger filled the room, but it changed nothing. The empty human seat remained, a silent reminder. One leader stood up slowly. His voice was calm, but heavy. We cannot win, he said. The room went quiet. We cannot fight this. No one argued, because they all knew it was true. Then what do we do? Someone asked. The answer came quickly. We find the humans. Silence.
Hope. Fear.
All mixed together. They left a path, another said. They left clues. Yes, the leader nodded. And now it is our only chance. Not everyone agreed. Why would they help us? One asked. We ignored them. We mocked them. We left them alone. The room grew tense again. Then someone spoke softly. They said maybe. That word again. Maybe. Not a promise. Not a guarantee. But something. Better than nothing. The decision was made. A small group would go. Not a fleet. Not an army. Just a few ships.
Fast.
Quiet. Careful. Their mission. Follow the human path. Find the gates. And beg for survival. As preparations began, the council received one last message from a dying system. The signal was weak. Barely clear. But the words were enough. It's here. We can see it. It's beautiful.
A pause.
Then, and it's taking everything. The message ended. The system went dark. No one spoke after that. Because now, the end was no longer far away. It was coming. Closer.
System by system.
Star by star. Life by life. And for the first time in its history, the Galactic Council understood something simple. Power did not matter. Technology did not matter. Pride did not matter. Only one thing mattered now. Survival. And the only ones who had prepared for it were already gone. The galaxy was dying. System by system, the lights were going out. No one could stop it. No one could slow it down. The only hope left was humanity. The Galactic Council no longer acted like rulers. They acted like survivors. A small group was chosen. Not the strongest. Not the richest. But the most useful. A scientist. A pilot. A navigator. A translator. A soldier. 5 beings. 5 different species. One mission. Find the humans. Their ship was small but advanced. Built for speed. Built for stealth. Because now, moving unnoticed was more important than power. The pilot sat quietly at the front. His hands were steady, but his eyes showed fear. Coordinates ready, the navigator said. Based on the human data? Yes, or at least what we could understand. The scientist leaned forward. It's not exact, she said. Humans hid their path well. The soldier crossed his arms. So, we are chasing ghosts. The translator shook his head. No, we are chasing our last chance. The ship entered deep space. Far beyond the safe zones. Far beyond the known routes. The darkness felt different here. Heavier. Colder. Like something was watching. Days passed. Then weeks. They followed every clue they could find. Faint signals. Old energy trails. Broken human stations. Each one brought more questions. And more fear. One day, they found something. An old outpost. Human. Abandoned. The ship moved closer slowly. Scanning, the scientist said. No life signs. Any danger? The pilot asked. None detected. The soldier stood up. I'm going in. Inside the station, everything was still. Machines were silent. Lights were dim. But it was not destroyed. It was left behind.
Carefully.
The soldier walked through empty halls. He saw signs of life. Old tools. Data screens. Sleeping areas. Families had been here. And then they were gone. Anything useful? The pilot asked through comms. The soldier paused. There are markings, he said. Human symbols. The translator's voice came quickly. Show me. The soldier activated his camera. Strange symbols appeared on the wall. Lines. Arrows. Patterns. The translator studied them. They are not random, he said. They are directions. Hope filled the ship. Coordinates? The navigator asked. Not exact, but yes, the translator replied. They are pointing somewhere. The team returned to the ship. For the first time, they felt something new. Hope. They followed the new path. It was harder now. The clues were less clear. More hidden. As if humans were testing them. Another station. Another clue. Then another. Each one led deeper into unknown space. Far from everything. Far from safety. The scientist began to notice something strange. These paths, she said. They avoid certain regions. What regions? The pilot asked. She pointed at the map. Areas where systems have gone dark. The soldier frowned. So humans knew its path. Yes, she said quietly. And they stayed ahead of it. That thought changed everything. Humans were not just running. They were guiding their escape. Carefully. Step by step. Then came the moment. The discovery. The ship exited hyperspace into a quiet region. No stars nearby. No signals. Nothing. Are we in the right place? The pilot asked. The navigator checked again. Yes, this matches the last clue. The crew looked around. There was nothing. Just empty space. Scan everything, the scientist said. The sensors activated. For a moment, nothing appeared. Then, a signal. Faint. Hidden. But there. I found something, the scientist whispered. Where? The pilot asked. Directly ahead. But there's nothing there. I know, but the signal is real. The ship moved forward slowly. Closer. Closer. Then suddenly, space itself shifted, like a veil being pulled away. And something appeared. A structure. Massive. Impossible. A gate. The crew stared in silence. It was unlike anything they had ever seen. A giant ring floating in space, covered in glowing lines of energy. Complex. Advanced. Alive. This is human? The soldier asked. The scientist shook her head slowly. It's beyond anything we have seen. The translator spoke softly. They built this to leave. Hope filled the ship. Real hope. We found it, the pilot said. We actually found it, but then something changed. The gate began to glow brighter. Energy moved across its surface. Systems activated. The crew froze. What is happening? The navigator asked. I don't know, the scientist said. Then, a voice. Clear. Calm. Human. Unknown vessel detected. The crew held their breath. We did it, the pilot whispered. This area is restricted. The voice continued. State your purpose. No one spoke at first. Fear returned. What if humans rejected them? What if this was the end? The translator stepped forward. His voice shook slightly. We come from the Galactic Council. Silence. Then the voice replied. You were warned. The words hit hard. The crew looked at each other. Guilt. Regret. Fear. We know, the translator said. We did not listen. Another silence. Longer this time. Heavy. Behind them, far in the distance, a star went dark. The darkness was coming closer. Please, the translator said. We followed your path. We found your gate. We just want to survive. The gate glowed brighter. Energy built up. The crew waited, hoping, fearing. Then the voice spoke again. Cold. Calm. Controlled. Wait. The word echoed inside the ship. And, in that moment, everything hung in balance. Life. Death. Hope. And the fate of the galaxy was now in human hands. The ship did not move. No one spoke. The word still echoed inside their minds. Wait. It was such a small word. But now it carried everything. Hope. Fear. Judgment. The massive gate in front of them glowed brighter. Soft lines of light moved across its surface, like flowing energy. It felt alive. Watching them. Studying them. Inside the ship, the crew stood frozen. The pilot kept his hands on the controls, but he did not dare to move. The soldier stared at the gate, ready, but knowing there was nothing he could fight. The scientist watched the readings, her eyes wide with wonder and fear. The navigator checked the distance again and again, as if numbers could calm his mind. And the translator, he waited, because this moment was not about technology. It was about choice. Outside, the galaxy was still dying. Far behind them, stars continued to fade. Systems continued to fall. The darkness was coming. Closer, closer. Then, the human voice returned.
Calm. Clear.
Unshaken. You followed the path. The translator stepped forward. Yes, he said quietly. You left clues. A pause. Then the voice replied. We left tests. The words felt heavy. The crew exchanged looks. Tests. So this was not just luck. They were being judged. Why? The scientist asked softly. There was a short silence. Then the voice answered. Because survival is not given. It is earned. The soldier frowned. We are not your enemies, he said. Another pause. Then, you were not our allies. The words struck like a blow. No anger. No hate. Just truth. The translator lowered his head. We made a mistake, he said. We did not listen. We did not understand. Silence followed. Long and deep. The gate's light shifted. Slow. Steady. As if it was thinking. Many said the same, the human voice replied. They laughed. They ignored. They chose comfort over truth. The crew had no answer, because it was true. Every word. Behind them, another star went dark. The navigator saw it first. It's getting closer, he whispered. Fear returned instantly. Time was running out. Please, the translator said. His voice was no longer calm. It was desperate. We know we failed, but we are here now. We are trying. The silence that followed felt endless. Then, finally, the voice spoke again. Humanity does not forget. A pause. But we also do not destroy without reason. Hope. A small spark, but real. The gate began to move. Slowly. Its massive structure shifted. Energy built along its edges. The crew watched in shock. Is it opening? The pilot whispered. The scientist checked the readings. Yes, but not fully. A small section of the gate activated. A narrow path. Not wide. Not enough for many ships. Just enough for a few. The voice returned. Only one vessel may enter. Silence filled the ship. The meaning was clear. This was not a rescue. This was a choice. What about the others? The navigator asked. What about the rest of the galaxy? The answer came without delay. They had their chance. The weight of those words was unbearable. Trillions of lives. Countless worlds. All gone. Because they did not listen. The soldier looked at the crew. So this is it, he said. We survive, and they don't. No one answered. Because there was no answer. The translator stepped forward again. If we enter, what happens next? The human voice replied calmly. You learn. You change. You remember. A pause. Or you leave. The message was clear. This was not just survival. It was a new beginning. But only for those who understood. The pilot took a deep breath. He looked at the gate. At the narrow path. At the only chance left. Behind them, the darkness moved again. Closer now. For a brief moment, they could almost see it. A shifting shadow. A silent end. We don't have time, the scientist said. The navigator nodded. It will reach us soon. The crew looked at each other. Different species. Different pasts. But now, the same fate. The translator spoke softly. We were chosen for a reason. The soldier nodded. Then we finished the mission. The pilot placed his hands firmly on the controls. His fear was still there. But now there was something else. Purpose. Preparing to enter, he said. The ship moved forward slowly. Closer to the gate. Closer to survival. As they reached the edge, the human voice spoke one last time. This is not mercy. A pause. This is a second chance. The ship passed through the light. And vanished. The gate began to close. Slowly. Silently. Like it was never there. Behind it, the darkness continued. Unstoppable. Endless. The Galactic Council was gone. The great empires were gone, the proud voices silenced forever. But somewhere far away, in a hidden part of the universe, humanity survived. Not because they were stronger, not because they were lucky, but because they listened, they learned, they acted. And when no one else did, they walked away. And the galaxy paid the price.